good evening. I'm Robert A. Wilson with Cowboy Wisdom. I am a hypnotherapist, NLP practitioner, timeline coach. I'm also a published author, but I do 2 Facebook Lives a week. And tonight's Facebook Live is Wealth is Inside Me. And something I opened up to understand now is wealth on the physical plane is just mundane. But the wealth inside me is the prosperity and the wealth of life. And that is about me opening my eyes to my inner self and all my wise self and everything else. But we look outside ourselves for the wealth of life. And the wealth of life is inside us. Life is about opening up to understand the greatness of ourselves. We're all greater than we think we are. We never feel the greatness within us, but the wealth is wisdom, expanding, acumen, wisdom expanding, adventurous, lure, tantalizing, harmonizing outcomes within us. But it's harmonizing our life to understand the physical plane and the other plane have to play on the same line of success. But as I open up the blessings of me, I free me to feel rich every day. It's energizing my life, but it's the wealth of life. And how are we afraid of the wealth of ourselves? Because the wealth is inside us. And something I'm really opening up to, all the prosperity and all the ways for money actually come from inner to outer. But how do we walk the path of poverty? Because we taught ourselves poverty is the way of life. And I'm going to admit I did, but I'm really opening myself to let go of that and expand and to understand wealth is willpower, energizing abilities, lionizing today's hellraiser's audacity to walk through life and look life in the eye and stop looking for elsewhere for everything in my life, because the wealth of me will open up to everything. But the wealth is stealth inside ourselves. But we look for the physical world for everything. It's a soul search that sees everything, appreciating life. But that's the thing I've really opened up to. We've been afraid to feel life because life is felt rather than thought about. Because the more you think, the more I stink. And that's one thing I do, because thinking is the one that gets me all in an uproar, and it all gets me all bad about everything. But the inspirational wealth I have is wizardry, enterprising, affluence, loving today. Hell yes, I'm a blessing, I say to myself in the world. So as I open up to understand that life will forever be free when I stop thinking in a jailhouse way, because I lock myself in a prison. Poverty, because I'm looking outside of myself for that. It's time to stop looking outside and go inside to see the inspirational nirvana, sensing inborn dreamers' epiphanies that are within us. How have you taught yourself to be afraid to dream? I know I've taught myself to be afraid to dream. And we go through life and we walk on a path and we're afraid to really lionize and let go and enjoy who we are. But wealth, I open my eyes to my inner wealth to walk the prosperous paths in the physical world, to understand the peace of the world is within me. If I want peace, peace starts here and not everywhere else. So as I walk through this and start understanding, life forever expands. When I stop being stuck in thinking life is against me. Life has never been against anybody. It's through severe challenges at them, but that severe challenges are to open people's eyes to their own whys and their own inner wealth. That's willpower, expanding acumen, lionizing, trendsetter, hellraiser's resolve to evolve of everything. But oh no, we got to stay stuck in this, because my books say this and the computer says this, and a book and a computer don't tell me I can't move forward. How is that the world today? So I feel free when I stop playing around in yesterday. But how is yesterday the worst thing in life? Because life will never ever be the same as I ever will be when I let go of yesterday, and I let go of the poverty consciousness the world and the history books teach. If you look at the history books, they talk very little about prosperity and wealth, but they talk about how wealthy people have held and controlled the other people. And see, we've been taught the work history of life. We've never been taught the life of leisure. That life starts with leisurely, invigorating freedom every day. But it's really about leisurely, invigorating fervor, energy every day. But understanding life has its fine points all the time. But we never, ever have to stay the same. But we do stay the same because it's easy and we understand the same. And am I guilty of this? Oh, yes. But how about if we understand the wealth is a wonderful, enterprising, adventurous lure, trailblazing, heavenly experiences here on earth? How does that make you feel when you hear that? And it's really about letting go and dissolving the despair within ourselves, thinking life is never fair because life dealt me curveballs and didn't place me in a home with a lot of wealth, with a lot of money. Instead, it placed me in a place where I expand through life with an adventure or a miscue. How many times has a miscue opened up to the new roads of miracles internally seeing candid, utopian energy flow through you and become the visionary of your life? I know it has me, and I quit playing in it and started experiencing it. Opens the way, but everybody wants to practice things. Wealth isn't a practice. Wealth is in the game. Galvanizing audacity, majestically expanding through life. Life is more mystical, magical, and miraculous than we're willing to give it credit for or allow it to show us. We're so willing to stay the same. We become enamored and inane in pain because we understand pain in life. So as I feel the wealth, the prosperity, and all the divine grandeur that's within me, I awaken my inner self. And I paint my inner scenery with the greenery of life to galvanize riches, enjoying every day, naturally expanding revolutionary yazzamoney to dance with life. How many of us just walk through life or crawl through life rather than dance and rumba and salsa with life? How did it feel to put a little spice in your life and get out of the comfort zone? And I got a long ways to go in this comfort zone because I have it pretty easy the way I got it, but it isn't the life I desire to experience. But I'm opening up and understanding my inner wealth will expand adventurous lure. And to understand the world is mystical more than anything else, because the world is invisible and invincible. And it's up to me to expand through the invisible and the invincible, to expand of the invisible and the invincible. Because I'm an unconquerable spirit, but I'm a annoyed human. Because I want it now, and I never want to let go of anything I know. I never want to let go of anything I have, and I just want to stay free every day. So as I walk of freedom, I feel rich, enjoying every day, dancing openly, maturing myself. And that's what wealth is the maturity of our own magnificence that's within us, showing the world our stately significance to speak our enterprising inspirations to the world, because the world is willing to hear inspiration, but it never wants to be told what to do, because we're told and old. We inspire in a fiery desire to light the torch of life, tantalizing, omnipotent, ubiquitous celebration, having fun every day. But how many of us are just going through the life going, oh my God, I got to do this today, and I got to do that today? But we don't feel the inspiration of our own dreams, daring ourselves to really expand and let go of yesterday. How is the world stuck in history? That's a big thing I ask myself every day. So if I see the world is stuck in history, I'm asking myself, how am I stuck in my own? Because yesterday is something I know. Today is something I understand. Tomorrow is a visionary vitality to open my eyes to everything. But the visionary vitality is to be cleared and seeing today as the beginning of the path of tomorrow. And tomorrow never comes, but the path is here today. So we tantalize opportunity, dancing affluently, yesing. I am here to stroll on my paths of success and splendor. How's the splendor of life within me, and I'm afraid to enjoy? It's out different than anybody else's in the world. There's 7.6 million dreams out there for people to experience, and every dream is unique to expand the world in a certain way. But we're so stuck because it isn't right in the wheelhouse of the norm in the school books and the computers. It's in our own universe. That's a universe is a utopian nirvana, really celebrating ourselves and feeling the jubilees of freedom within us. How are we afraid to be free internally? And how do we stay stuck in the poverty that we taught ourselves? Or I taught myself. I know I do. I have. But willing to admit it allows me to see the vitality of my new vibrant internal tenacity to expand out of wherever I'm at. And it's about using words with a little spunk in them rather than the funk. Oh, I can do this. I experience this because my gumption lets go of my galvanized, ubiquitous mojo powers, tantalizing, intuitive, omni-effing nirvana, because we are enlightened beings, but we try to play down to the whatever we're told. And how do we buy into the world is suffering? You have to suffer to expand through life. That is a fallacy. You are going to be dealt some unsavory situations. Them unsavory situations are thrown there to fissure your stranglehold on everything you know, because the unknown is a challenge. But really the unknown's a universe of natural kinetic optimism, willfully nurturing our wisdom within ourselves. So as I open up to this and I really feel myself, it's feeling it in here and feeling it go up. So as I open my eyes to the whys of myself, I see everyday life feeling free. And it's about feeling sovereign in the energy within ourselves. Stop looking for somebody else to rise the tides. And that's what the politicians and the politics are of today. We're going to help you. We're going to give you everything. The world is going to take everything it gives you. Everything you expand through and open up to receive will forever be yours or mine. That is where life really starts to dance, starts the dawning of affluence within your life, or my life. But how are we so stuck in entitlements, and them entitlements are stealing our inner wealth, but massaging our egotistical laziness to stay right where we're at, or our egotistical arrogance that I deserve it because of who I am, rather than I'm worthy to experience it because I encompass the gut gumption to expand through it all. That is where life really becomes a liberating infinity of far-seeing energy. It's not independence, it's sovereignty of ourselves is where life will forever open it up. And it's about being willing to step into the bear trap and hold the bear trap open as you get wealthy. Because the only one that can fall into a trap is me, and that's inside me. As I fall into the trap of my rat-a-tat crap. And I can do that as good as anybody, and I still do it. But now I'm opening my eyes to feel the whys of me waltz internally, seeing every day expand of my grandeur. And, I really want to be a stout-hearted, kind person that stands up for myself. And I never ever see the world waltz because I was afraid of the waltz. But the waltz is a wonderful, adventurous, trend-setting, lively zeal that I encompass. But it's about ready to understand that life will forever hold me down when I stay the same and try to think my way through life. It's about me being willing to feel my way through and sense the savvy of myself and trust my abilities to adventurously experience life. And have I done that? No. Am I willing? Yes. But it's really about allowing people, this show is about allowing people to feel their own self and be confident and courageous to experience their own life and let go of trying to fit into the societal ways that are self-sabotaging. Society likes a fearful citizenry because a fearful one is easy to control. And what they really feel set and impose on us from childhood to now Oh, you failed. Well, everybody that's successful has failed their way to success. The only failure in life is being afraid to trust your abilities and to experience life your way and trust the invisible and invincible of the world within yourself. Because the person I know the least is me. I try to compare myself to others, and that takes me nowhere. But it's really about the wealth inside me is my willpower, energizing, adventurous, lure, tantalizing, hellraiser's resolve to evolve of everything. Visually optimizing life every day. But it's the vibrancy of ourselves that will expand us through life. And with that, I'm going to say goodnight. I am Robert A. Wilson with Cowboy Wisdom. I am a hypnotherapist, NLP practitioner, and a published author. My books are available at amazon.com/author/Robert A. Wilson and at howdiditeachmyselffear.com and on my website, mycowboywisdom.com. My books and everything is wrote in first person and in rhymes. So when people read them, it's like you're reading from in yourself. And I write how I expanded my life, and it's there for you. It's to show you your way to yourself. If it isn't, I am showing people the way I expanded my life. And with that, I'm going to say goodnight, and we'll see you next Tuesday night. May your weekend be fun and your life be blessed as you are a blessing to me and the world. And good night.